It's probably super late for me talking about this game. It's been like I don't know 3 days, something like that, 4 days. But I had to talk about it because it was just atrocious, and like I had to talk about this game. I wanted to do it on Sunday, but I didn't get the time. But I mean, it's so bad to see how Arsenal was up 2 goals in the first half, and they put quite a show in the first half, having like all the possession and just taking the game towards to Watford, knowing that they were the better team in the end, and everybody knowing that they were gonna get all 3 points there. And then in the second half, they totally fell apart, and that's just what I got to talk about. Like what was the problems? What happened that caused this team being up 2 goals to 0 to eventually fall 2-2 and almost even letting the lead slip and allowing Watford to actually get all 3 points. And I mean, for me, the key man in this game was Aubameyang, because if we didn't have him, if Arsenal did not have Aubameyang, who knows what it would have been in this game, because this guy was a game changer with that first goal where he did that spin move. I don't even know how he did that. Like, that's just something that he has. That's just something like a forward has, or just mostly just him, where he spins and automatically hits it like as he's turning. And that's just his magic right there. That's just his quality of a forward that he is, where he can change direction and at the same time prepare a shot to go off. And that's just amazing by him. And then the second shot as well, where I think it was Maitland Niles was coming in, and it was a play started by Mesut Ozil, who also had a pretty decent game, but wasn't running in the second half, and maybe that's why they took him off. But man, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But yeah, there goes the second goal where Maitland Niles slots it in towards the center, and he just gives it to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang just puts a foot on it, and then it goes in. Easy, right? They're up 2-0 at halftime, and Arsenal's looking like they're gonna get all 3 points. But as time goes on, like that second half was just, it was a whole nother team. It was so crazy how like in just one half the team could just fall apart. And I blame most of this stuff that occurred, or most of these occurrences, for Arsenal's bad display or performance. I blame it mostly on the players, but also on the manager, because Unai Emery, being 2-0 up, I know he wanted to just go back and have like the youngsters get their minutes or whatever, and also just close out the game, right? But it wasn't the game like that, because from the get go, Watford was attacking heavily, and they saw that Arsenal had like, they were coming through the back when it was their time for like the goalie to put the ball back into play from like a goal kick. They saw that Arsenal was staying all the way back, so they pressured all the way high. They put their front line to pressure because Arsenal wanted to play from the back, and they would always win the ball easily, allowing not allowing Arsenal to get out of their own half. And then the other thing was the players also, they would not press up, or they would not pressure the Watford attack as much. Watford does not even have any quality. If it wasn't, the only one that has quality in that team, in my opinion, is just Delafeu. He's the only one that has the quality to do something. He was the only one trying it. He had like the same shot like 4 or 5 times from the same place, where he cuts in and then he hits it towards that second post, that second right post. He was unlucky not to get it. But this guy was causing all types of mayhem, like, and he caused the first goal as well, where they try to play from the back, and Socrates should have more experience on that type of possession. But Watford was super clinical. They had 31 shots on goal, and I just blame all this on Unai Emery, because he put in Wallach. I mean, the first change, he took out Ceballos, he put in Wallach, he put in, who else he put in? He put Nelson, and all these guys that could not defend for nothing. They could not have a defensive line, a defensive midfield where they could have played. They didn't even know what positions they were going to play, because Ozil was playing as a number 10, and then Ceballos was in the midfield. And they were playing defensively, but I don't know. Nelson was up there, so was Wallach, and then Shaka was even in the midfield as well, but he was all over the place. But these players need to have some defensive structure, some defensive capabilities, and pressure the ball. Just get on the ball once the other opposition has it, and just make them have errors or make them actually work to try to get the possession and gain it or whatever. But in that second goal, I don't blame David Luiz. He did what he had to do because the player behind him, I think it was Hughes running behind Pereira, which made Kolasinac go with him, and then Pereira had a one-on-one with David Luiz. But where was the midfield to begin with? That's what I see, and like there was no midfield there. Torreira just got a shot off on goal on the other side, um, on Watford's side, and then like where was the other side? Where was Shaka? Where was Wallach? Where was Reece Nelson? Where was all these guys over in the midfield? It just left Pereira on a one-on-one. I know it's a counter, but like there has to be at least one person in the midfield, and I especially blame Shaka because he's the defensive mid, especially. But this is all Unai Emery's fault, and I blame all of it on him. And I don't know if he's capable to manage this club, in my opinion, because it's not looking like it. But we'll see what happens further on. Hopefully he gets his tactics right, and hopefully they have a defensive structure. I know today they play against Eintracht Frankfurt, and I may talk about that game, but we'll see who I talk about and if I have the time to talk about it. Just like and subscribe to the video, and peace out.